Today's episode is brought to you by the Smart Poker Study Spring Sale. Head on over to smartpokerstudy.com/spring sale, where you can save at least $10 on every item on that page. The Smart HUD, the Flopzilla Pro course, Get More from Poker Tracker 4, one-day 3-bet bluffing course. Everything is there for you. All you have to do is use offer code SPRING10 at checkout. Once again, the Smart Poker Study Spring Sale. Just go to smartpokerstudy.com/spring sale. Good day, my name is Sky, and I appreciate you spending some study time with me. I'm here to help you make money in online poker by teaching you key strategies and getting you to take action. So I'm going to help you improve your winnings, improve that red line. I'm going to help you steal more pot and have more fun by teaching you how to attack weakness. Combate!
10.99.
Yes! I'm tough, Creasy.
Yeah? No such thing as tough. There's trained, and then there's untrained. And now which are you?
Trained.
Trained. Okay, let's go again.
To help you take notes with today's episode, go to the show notes page, smartpokerstudy.com/pod538. Well, you've heard me say a billion times on the podcast, aggression wins in poker. Aggression is great because when you're the one betting and raising, you get to steal pots. You also get value from your best hands. And one of the cool things, especially when it comes to stealing pots, is you keep them guessing. Sometimes on the flop, you bet 1/3 pot, sometimes half pot, sometimes 3/4 pot. But if your opponents keep folding to that flop or even the turn barrel or the river triple barrel, they're not going to know what you're making these various plays with various sizes with. They become fearful of your aggression and they end up just folding a lot more. And you steal even more pots, they get tired of it, they fight back at the wrong time, then you get maximum value. Now it's time for some examples of attacking weakness. Now, you want to attack weakness, especially when you have blockers to them having a really good hand. Here's a common scenario right here. The MP player open raises just to 2. He's a loose aggressive player. Cutoff folds. Button 3 bets, but he only makes it 4 big blinds. He's a loose aggressive player too. What's he making it just 4 big blinds with? This is weakness. It's a crap hand, guaranteed. Small blind folds. Action is on me with king 6 suited. Now, the king is a really good blocker. My opponents have less ace-king, pocket kings, and even king-queen, which players can defend against re-raises with in position. So I read weakness out of both of these lags betting so small, I just go big. I go up to 18 big blinds as a cold 4-bet bluff, and they both fold. And having that king, it helps to make it so their range have less defending hands versus my re-raise. Now, you also want to attack weakness when you have drawing equity. You have a hand like 10-8 suited on the button, the cutoff opens. You elect to just call. Let's see a flop against this turn-honest player. He c-bets flop 2 out of 2, 0 out of 1 on the turn. We have a plan for stealing post-flop. Small blind folds, big blind loose passive fish decides to call. Remember, we got the 10-8, 2 diamonds. Flop comes 5-9-5 with 2 diamonds. We've got the flush draw, 1 overcard, backdoor straight draw as well. This big blind fish checks, and then the loose aggressive open raiser c-bets half pot. We still have our plan in place of betting the turn because we're in position once he checks on the turn. So we decide to call with our flush draw, and the big blind calls as well. Well, it's a pretty nice big growing pot. 19.4 big blinds on the turn. The turn comes a 6 of spades, making the board 9-6-5-5. Still with 2 diamonds. We got our flush draw, but we did pick up a gut shot. The big blind comes out, whoa, firing 1/6 pot, 3 into 19.4. The fishy player does this. Feels like a really weak blocking bet, right? And then the loose aggressive open raiser just calls 3 big blinds. Feels like he just wants to see a magic card on the turn. Screw that, we are attacking both of these weak players. We 4x it to 12 big blinds, and they both fold and award us the pot. You also want to attack weakness when you have position, maybe with a tight image, and also it's always helpful with a plan to continue the attack later on a future street. So for example, everybody folds, you are in the big blind, the small blind, tight aggressive player, open raises, you've got the Jack 10 offsuit. You think to yourself, well, I could call right now, but this is a tight aggressive player. They open their open raising range in the small blind. He's wide here, probably 25-30% range. We got a Jack 10. We block pocket jacks, pocket tens, ace 10, ace jack, common 3-bet defense hands. They aren't the best blockers in the world, but let's give it a shot right here. This guy has not faced a 3-bet yet, but we're in position. We also have a tight image. We've only played 7% of hands over 27 hands. He is absolutely going to believe this 3-bet, so we make it 9. But just in case he calls, so far versus C-bets on the flop, he's already folded 1 out of 1. We're going to try to make it 2 out of 2. We have that plan to attack on any flop. But luckily, he just folds, and we take down a 3 big blind bet, utilizing our position, our tight image, and we still have that plan to attack later. Now, you also want to attack weakness when you have tendency reads, when you understand your opponent. You see their tendencies because you're paying attention to the game. If you're online, you have their HUD stats with which you can determine how they generally approach different spots. So in this one, you have King 10 offsuit in the big blind. It's folded around to the button, an 18-18 tight aggressive player who C-bets 2 out of 2 on the flop and 1 out of 1 on the turn, and actually he C-bet 1 time out of 1 on the river as well. He's a triple barreler, but we got a decent enough hand to continue. Once he open raises to 2.5, small blind folds. Let's go ahead and make this call. But before we do that, let's come up with a plan right now. How can we attack a tight aggressive player on the flop who has C-bet so far 2 out of 2 times? Well, the easiest way to attack them is to check raise them, especially maybe on a hard-to-hit board. But sometimes wet boards can work as well. So we call, and the board comes, it's pretty connected, ace, jack, 4. It is a rainbow board, though. We have the gut shot with our king 10. We check. We want to see what he does. Maybe he bets small, signifying weakness, and we can check raise. He does. He bets 1.8 into 5.5. We sense weakness. We have a gut shot. Think about this. He's a tight aggressive player facing another tight aggressive, semi-loose aggressive player. If he hit a strong ace, he's not going to bet small and let me continue cheaply with my king 10. I could just call for my gut shot draw. What if I have a weird 3-5 right here for a gut shot on the ace 4 flop? No way, he's betting bigger with his strong hands. I see weakness. I check raise it to 7, and drat, he calls. That's okay. We still have equity. I bet you a king would give me a strong second pair hand, and a queen obviously gives me the nut straight. And that's what we see on the turn, a queen. Making the board ace, queen, jack, 4. With 2 clubs, we turned our nut straight. But I do something because I sense weakness. I continue that same bet size on the turn. I barrel for exactly 7 big blinds. I'm trying to send the message that, oh crap, my check raise bluff didn't work. I got a barrel, but I don't want to risk a lot. I'll bet 7 into 19.5. But it didn't work. I wanted him to raise right there. He just called. So we go to the river, 33.5 big blind pot. The river comes a deuce of clubs, putting 3 clubs out there. The final board, ace, queen, jack, 4, deuce. Now I try once again, a desperate attempt to get him to bluff raise me. I bet just 9 into 33.5. He's a tight aggressive player. I read weakness in his tiny size on the flop. He should be able to read weakness not in my check raise, obviously, that is strength, but in my turn, small barrel, my river, small barrel as well. I'm hoping he reads weakness and can come over the top. But alas, he just folds. I love attacking. When you have blockers, you have drawing equity, you have position against your opponents. In this hand, the king 10, we didn't have position. But also utilizing that tight image, a plan to attack later, and then utilizing your tendency reads, because you've played with all of these tight aggressive players. You've played with these loose aggressive players. You've played with these lags. You've played with these fish before. You know how they bet and raise, the sizes they use, how they check and they call with their draws. You've seen all this. You've seen weakness a billion times. Let's start attacking. Now, sometimes when we're attacking what we think is weakness, a little voice in the back of our head is saying, but what if they call or re-raise? Here's the thing. You are attacking them because you read them for weakness. You made the attack, whether it's a bet or a raise, because you believe they can find the fold. But they ended up calling. That means they are not weak. Maybe they have a draw, but they could also have top pair, top 2 pair, trips or something right there. You read them for weakness. Listen to what they're telling you. Their call or their re-raise says, I am not weak. So what you need to do, take a breath, hand off mouse, be calm, and then potentially move on. If they called you, well, you're going to automatically move on to the next street. Be prepared for whatever card might come. Be prepared for future actions from them as well. And be calm and move on fold if they barrel and you need to fold. Now, they might raise you at a time when you thought they were weak. Once again, listen to what they're telling you. They're telling you they ain't weak. They're sticking it back in your face. You probably are weak because you were bluffing. Go ahead and find the fold. Don't throw good chips after bad spots. Listen to what your opponents are telling you. And this is why drawing equity is great when bluffing. When I made that check raise on the flop with my king 10 on the ace jack 4 board, having that gut shot equity is so helpful just in case they call. I don't often make check raise bluffs, especially on kind of connected boards like an ace jack 4, if I have absolutely nothing. So hearing all this strategy about spotting weakness and attacking weakness, that's fine and good. But what I need you to do next is train your attacking skills. This is going to require 3 things from you in your upcoming sessions. First off, pay attention. You need to spot signs of weakness and easy tendencies to exploit. If you're distracted by watching YouTube videos or an old episode of Friends or something while you're playing, you're not going to notice the things that you need to notice for weakness on their part in order to attack. Also, you have to have a willingness to attack, like you are playing a session specifically to train your attacking skills. Now, sometimes making a large 3-bet, making a cold 4-bet to 18 big blinds, that might be scary. If that money on the line is a little bit too much for you to risk, you don't want to do it, drop down in stakes. If you're a 10NL player, play 5NL. Practice your attacking in a lower stake where it's cheaper for you and mistakes aren't as costly or detrimental or hurtful to your bankroll. And the third thing you need to hit their pain threshold. In this king 10 offsuit hand, when I check raise to 7 over their 1.8 big blind bet, that should have hit their pain threshold. Maybe he could, I don't know what he had in this hand, but maybe he could have folded if I went 8 or 9 big blinds. But you want to make it a bet size that even you would fold against if you were weak. Let's just imagine on the ace jack 4, let's imagine you had queen 10 and you bet 1.8 into 5.5. Would you fold with a gut shot draw versus a 7 big blind check raise? There's a good chance you would because most of your opponents are check raising with a strong hand, a flop set, a flop 2 pair, a top pair hand. If you would fold against the bet size you just now used, it's probably a good size. Now it's time for you to take action. First, please like the video if you like the video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And now you have to play 5 sessions to train your attacking skills. Not just 1, not just 2 sessions. Do it over the next 5 sessions. You can't train an attack dog in one day, right? You're not going to train yourself to spot and attack weakness in one session either. And here's a key thing. Even when you're not involved in a hand, watch for weakness and visualize attacks. What would you do right now if you were the other player when you spot that opponent making a weak play? Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.